What is going on, everybody? I am Mike. Welcome back to Tech 24/7 TV. I'm glad that you're back with me today because we are talking about the ever important subject of keyboards. Now, if you are aware of this channel, I love keyboards, and today we're going to talk specifically about the 12.9-inch iPad Pro. We're going to look at the brand new Logitech Combo Touch, see whether it's worth the $229 that it costs, or if you just go big and buy the Magic Keyboard. I am Mike. This is Tech 24/7 TV. Let's get started. Now, before we get in the review, folks, if you like iPad content, you want to see more iPad content, I love iPad content. I love keyboards, I love the iPad, and I got more coming the way for the 2021 iPad Pro. In terms of my full review, some more benchmarks and testing, so make sure you are subscribed, turn on notifications because you don't want to miss out. Now, if you are anything like me, you want to be able to accomplish meaningful work when you're at your iPad, and the very fundamental piece of that is going to be the keyboard that you type on every day. Now, that's not an easy choice because there's just a sea of different keyboards that are available from the iPad. You can go to a standalone keyboard, you can go to some integrated case. You want a trackpad, I would say almost certainly, unless you're going to be using a mouse, and there's really just a handful of choices at this point in time that you can choose from. You have Apple's Magic Keyboard, which for the 12.9-inch iPad Pro is $350. That's just about a third of the cost of your iPad. It has a great typing experience. The trackpad is very responsive. The viewing angles could be better, but beggars can't be choosers. Now that is where the Combo Touch from Logitech comes in. Now I've reviewed the previous Combo Touch for the 7th and 8th generation iPad Pro, and I even reviewed the Folio Touch for last year's 11th generation iPad, but everyone asked me, hey, where is this for the 12.9-inch iPad Pro? Well, Logitech listened, and they certainly have delivered this year. This is the 12.9-inch Combo Touch, and as I mentioned, it's $229. I'll put links in the description below if you want to go and pick up one for yourself. And this is a folio case for the iPad Pro that has a backlit keyboard. It's got a full row of function keys, and it has a very large trackpad. And it gives you a typing and productivity experience that is the same, if not better than the Magic Keyboard on many different levels. There are a few things that I don't like about it, but we'll get into that. It is what I would call full case protection. It's definitely not a thin case because it weighs just over, with the iPad, 3.6 pounds. It's thick with 2 C's for sure. But when you look at this and you open it up, it does have a number of different, what I would call, attractive features to it. So first of all, it has a kickstand in the back, which will rotate anywhere between 20 degrees and 60 degrees, which allows it to be used in one of 4 different modes. Now, the very basic mode that you have here is the typing mode, right? It's where you have the iPad in the case with the keyboard attached. You can use it here in typing mode. Now, let's say I want to use this in the consumption mode. I'm just going to put the iPad down, and I have this kickstand here. I can use it. I can FaceTime. I could stand it straight up like this if I wanted to, which maybe I don't know what the use case would be for this, but either way. Now, if you didn't want to use it in typing mode, let's say you wanted to take the keyboard case off and maybe just watch content while you're holding it, you could certainly do that like this. The keyboard itself, since it does use the Smart Dock connector, it will go ahead and wrap around the back, so you can hold it like this if you don't want to lose your keyboard, which is nice. The problem with this is because it's still heavy. Like I said, it's 3.6 pounds with this keyboard attached. I would prefer not to do this and leave this off, but that's just me. You can tell me what you would think to like to do below. And then also, I can use it in that 4th mode, which is going to be in this easel mode. I can take my iPad pencil, I can navigate this way, I can use this to draw, and I actually like this mode a lot. I would tell you that this has a lot of great features. This is very protective around the edges. All the cutouts for the speakers and the microphones are all cut out. These buttons are not necessarily hard to push. They do have a good feeling to them, and they're very tactile. There is the cutout here on the bottom for where the USB-C port is, and it does allow USB-C plugs of many different sizes to be used here. Now, the disadvantage that you have against the Magic Keyboard is that there is only one port. You can only power your iPad from here. You couldn't connect to a second device like you can on the Magic Keyboard because of that power port that's on the bottom of the hinge. But at $229, that is a pretty compelling case. Now, let's talk about numbers in context to one another. The iPad Pro by itself is about 1.58 pounds, so almost 1.6 pounds. Both of these are 2021 iPad Pro. They're both 12.9-inch. The Magic Keyboard by itself is going to weigh 1.1 pounds. That's going to be compared to a much beefier, much heavier Combo Touch, which is going to weigh 2.7 pounds between the keyboard and the case by itself. Now, when you add in the iPad at 1.6 pounds, you come to a total package weight of 3.68 pounds, which is kind of beefy when you think about it. You could certainly get a 13-inch or even a 16-inch MacBook Pro, be right around in the same weight space as this device. Now, I think that's not necessarily a fair comparison because here on the Combo Touch, you can take apart the keyboard and only carry, the case by itself. That's going to reduce the total weight down from 3.68 down to 2.7 pounds. So you get somewhere in the neighborhood of close to being the 3.1 pounds that you have with the Magic Keyboard and the iPad. Now, you could see here that they're both lined up from the bottom edge of the keyboard. And if they're both lined up, you can see how much closer the iPad Pro inside the Magic Keyboard sits to you. So from a distance perspective, this is going to be a little bit easier to sit and touch with your hand or with your finger if you need to, opposed to being sit back here. Now, as I mentioned in the beginning, there are two things that I do not like about this. The first one really doesn't impact me that much because based on the style that I type. Now, if you are someone who likes to maybe sit at your couch and type and you want to put this on your lap, the way that this kickstand is designed, if you are sitting with your legs crossed or your ankles crossed, it's not going to be even. It's going to wobble a little bit and you'll need to reposition yourself in terms of typing in order to get a good position on the keyboard where it's stable. Now, I don't sit like that while I'm at the couch, so it just depends on how you type while you are there. The second thing is that depending on what type of Thunderbolt cable that you are connecting to, the head of some Thunderbolt cables are a little bit too big. Now, here is one that I have. This one is from Amazon. This fits perfectly, sits right inside of there very snugly, but some of them it's just a little bit too big and that case will not fit. Now, just keep that in mind when you're looking for cables. Now, I think at the end of the day, if you ask yourself, who is going to buy this keyboard? Who's it right for? I think this keyboard is right for the majority of people out there. It is $230 in comparison to $350 for Apple's Magic Keyboard. I don't think that there are any special features on the Magic Keyboard that command that additional money. Time out, guys. This is Editor Mike, and there are two things that I wanted to address inside my review, but I forgot to include them inside of the edit. So first thing is that can I use this keyboard while it is detached from the Logitech Combo Touch? The answer is no. This is not a Bluetooth keyboard. It solely works on the pogo pins on the smart dock connector, so this will not work unless it is physically attached to your keyboard. Second thing is that will this case fit the 2020 iPad Pro? The answer is yes, it will. The speaker holes will not align, but I wanted to make sure that you had that context for that question because I do get it quite often. Thanks very much. I would use this for myself. I would use this for my wife. I would tell anyone that is looking for a keyboard, start with this and then maybe move up from there, depending on what you have as your use cases. The keyboard offers an exceptional typing experience. The trackpad experience is great. Functionality on the trackpad in terms of this versus the Magic Keyboard, it's like for like. I've not found a feature that does not work on the Combo Touch. The surface area of the trackpad is larger on the Combo Touch. So really there's just a number of benefits to using the Combo Touch. And as I mentioned, if you don't like the material, there's nothing I can do about that. You're just not gonna like it or buy it. And that's okay, different strokes for different folks. Now, I wanna know from you, what are you gonna buy in the comments below? Are you gonna get the Combo Touch? Are you gonna splurge and get the Magic Keyboard? Let me know down below. My name is Mike, folks, and I will talk to you in the next one.